Hey guys, it's JL Phoenix, and today I'm sharing the process of drawing my character Warden Sylvan, who I drew a while back. Without further ado, let's get into it. So originally I was planning on redrawing my character Knight, which is an old character I designed some time back, and I ended up changing my mind, especially since the redesign looked vastly different from his original. And also looking at the sketch, it kind of gave me an idea for a whole new character. This was one of those go with the flow kind of drawings, where I sort of thought things up as I went, where I let my pen just freely glide across the screen. I knew from the start, at least from when I changed my focus to drawing a new character, that I wanted to give him glasses. And then, I wanted to give him, this somewhat of a robe-like outfit. It's kind of hard to explain what I see in my head. Although you can't really see all of it, you can only really see, the top part area of the outfit. Yeah. Now, I'm not sure if I'll include a full version of his outfit in this video, but I started thinking about some of the classic 90s anime protags that specifically wield guns. I know, that doesn't necessarily narrow it down, but I'm leaving room for you guys to make the guess for the inspirations, okay? Alright, so let's talk more about the outlining and coloring. So you've probably noticed, or haven't noticed, but I'll point it out anyway so that way you can notice, that the outline color is similar to Ceri's, and even their design looks very similar. Well, that's because he was the inspiration for Ceri's creation. The only thing is that I used a different brush and colored differently for each character. Now when I colored Sylvan, I already had in mind the colors I wanted to use. For the frame of his glasses, I used this sort of pale gold color. Kind of hard to really place what color it is. It's I guess it's more close to a gray gold color. I don't know. And I wanted the lens of his glasses to also be red. Again, kind of similar to Ceri's glasses. I wanted his eyes to be super unique, so I grabbed magenta and used it as a base, and then used a combination of pink and blue to create a kind of an eye pattern that's almost similar to Ada and Magnolia's eyes. But then I later on erased it and redid it to make it where the pink and blue acts more like a highlight, and used the magenta and a darker magenta to use for use the base magenta again and use the darker magenta to be the shadows and stuff, and then just overlay the pink and blue above it. Well, I didn't necessarily overlay it, I actually just kind of painted it on there to make it look like a light. The point is, I wanted his eyes to be unique, and I made them unique. Now, as for his outfit, I was kind of going back and forth for either making it all white or making it all red, because I was like, well, I feel both would really work for him, right? And honestly, I was just like, man, I don't know which I should go with. So I ended up doing both, even though I asked a couple friends and my brother for their input, hey, what do you think? Should his outfit be white and red, or should his outfit be red and white? And most people were like, white and red, right? Now, as for his skin tone, I decided to go with a gray-brown color, mostly because I wanted to see if I could pull it off. Because it's a color I don't use very often, but when I do, I always try to I guess you could say I kind of like working with dark colors and then layering on lighter colors above it to make it stand out that much more. And I'm gonna be honest, as I'm looking at the footage, and every time I keep literally looking at the footage and see myself do the whole coloring thing, especially when I'm shading and stuff, it's so satisfying to watch. I don't know, does it feel satisfying to you guys to watch me just shade the characters and stuff and do all the coloring stuff? I don't know, I feel it's personally satisfying. Because it's just wow, it looks so nice. I could just touch it and it feels super smooth. I don't know, that's just what I think. But I'm getting off topic. Now on to his hair. Now his hair was probably the most interesting thing, because on one hand I was thinking maybe I should give him red hair, but then I thought about, well, if I give him red hair, it's kind of gonna blend with the red outfit. I mean, unless I decide to make the outfit like a darker red and make his hair like a lighter red, then I could do that. I was like, but I don't want it to like blend like that, you know what I'm saying? So this is one of the reasons why I also was like, okay, well, I'm gonna make like multiple versions, right? Like I use a lighter shade of gray for his hair and then use like light red highlights at the ends of his hair. And I kind of thought about like, oh, so what happens is that for his red hair that he gets, it's like, oh yeah, that's him using his powers and stuff, and so it's kind of like a power up mode, right? And then when he's like in low power mode, his hair is like gray with the red highlights at the bottom, or was it umbre, however you call it. Yeah, so I was just kind of thinking it like that. And here's the final result. So, as I said earlier, I am still planning on somehow incorporating the different versions like you see here on the screen. And I do have it where a number of the drawings do have a filter over it, especially when it comes to the different hair colors, like, you know, the red, like his all red, him using all his powers, and then the little bit of red at the ends, and it's just like his gray hair is like, low power mode. But yeah. Anyways guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think about Sylvan's design so far and the color choices? I would like to hear you guys' thoughts on it. I do actually enjoy reading you guys' comments. Some of you guys say some of the funniest things. So feel free to comment down below. I would also like to give a special shout out to my Patreon supporters, Zeta787 and the Ocean Shop. Thank you guys so much for your support, and thank you all for subscribing and being part of the Phoenix fans. Have an amazing day, guys!